All right, everybody. Welcome back to the No Varsity Show. It's been a minute, especially here on the virtual edition. This is our ninth episode in total. Today we got a very special guest, a good friend of ours over from Piqua, down 36, Christian Starrett. um, I want to let him kind of introduce himself, kind of explain what he's doing and what he's up to. So Christian, take it away, my man.
How y'all doing?
So good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Well, I went to Piqua High School. I graduated in 2019 and moved down to Nashville right afterwards. And the past couple years have been pretty crazy. I've been a working guitar player, doing live stuff in the studio, just trying to make an honest living being a musician. And, I've been on a couple tours so far. I've recorded 3 albums. Just trying to keep busy and keep playing music. That's what I love to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome. So we definitely want to get started talking about Piqua. So for those of you that may not know, Christian and I met through Skylar, my girlfriend. They were friends growing up, went to high school together, went to school together. One thing about Piqua that kind of stands out in terms of music is the show choir, which, to my understanding, Christian was a part of. You did some things with that. How did that kind of set you up, or really even inspire you with the music you're doing today?
Well, that was a long time ago. But Piqua Show Choir, I was a 4-year senior when I graduated. And show choir was really interesting. I played in a band with my dad growing up, so I always had like the instrumental side of things. But I never really like got that like vocal side of like music. And like Tom Westfall, he was our director, and he was a great mentor to me all 4 years, and even in junior high. And I just wanted to kind of learn how to sing better and just kind of use like my ear to better my musicianship on my guitar. But dancing was the fun part to me. I loved it for some reason. But in Nashville, it's fun. We go to the American Legion like every Tuesday night, and we 2-step with women of all ages.
I mean, that show choir prepared you for moments like that.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of places, I guess this is just kind of the connotation that choir and band and stuff like that has in high school, is it's not like a cool thing to go or do in high school. And in Piqua especially, to me it seemed like all the cool kids, or at least what people perceived as cool, were in show choir, or supporting it at least. How do you think that kind of developed? And then like in your friendships, was that important to you as well, that they were involved in it too?
Yeah, so I played sports my whole life. I played football and basketball and baseball, really all up until high school. And I kind of like didn't want my like body hurting for the rest of my life, to be honest with you guys. But I played golf all 4 years in high school. But through my years at Piqua, it's kind of a smaller school, so like you really get to like develop these relationships with these people. And even still today, some of them are, some lifelong friends that I'll always have. And being in show choir and like, I was best friends with like the football players and, the basketball players. So it really like everybody knew I loved music, and they were just really supportive of that. And they didn't ask any questions usually.
Right. And like, I know I guess Des can probably attest to this better, being, making music, but also, not necessarily being involved in sports. But obviously we all know that story at this point. But like in Greenville and I guess other places in general, you kind of see those types of people, like, the people that play sports or that are kind of in that crowd, not supporting like something different, like music, especially. And Des, like, I don't know, maybe you have something to add or kind of a thought.
I mean, I think you said it spot on. You would just kind of stick to their thing and don't really venture out of it.
Yeah, there's not really like a blend, I guess.
Right.
But like with you guys, I always noticed that there was, like, for example, just from your guys' friend group, like Christian was always making music, Caden, Big Ginge, was playing football.
Come on.
And then like Mason was always really smart doing kind of, academic things. And then like Kyler and Kobe, like also kind of into athletics. Kyler even moved away, still being in your friend group. And I just thought that was really cool. And that's why I connected with you guys so well. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of point that out. How different and unique the kind of community at Piqua was, and like kind of how similar that is to what we're trying to do with No Varsity, in terms of like being compared to Greenville, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the world's big enough for all of us, and if we can all support each other, I mean, that's the best part,
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like there was some real High School Musical shit going on at Piqua.
No, I've seen them live.
It's like the plot playing out in real life. They're all in support of you.
Yeah, everybody still is. Everybody you mentioned, I'm still really great friends with. And every time I come home, I try to see them all and hang out, have some nice nights,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not that there was a ton of nights where we were all together, but the G to the P functions were pretty legendary when they occurred.
Always. Never forget.
We're going to have to get that back up going soon.
We will soon.
That's a fact.
Have a little reunion.
Yeah, that would be legendary. Yeah. And I know you kind of mentioned it with coming back home. I know you played at least one show in Piqua. Correct me if I'm wrong, if there's more or whatever. But how was that? Like kind of coming home to a home crowd, people obviously coming to support you. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it's always kind of crazy coming home to play like the music I've been working on. Like people can like see about it like on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, see how things are going, but like sometimes like maybe don't get to hear the actual music going on. So it's always like really meaningful for me to like go home and play to, family, friends, people I saw in the community my whole life, and like the amount of support I've received from the community at Piqua and all over, everywhere, Greenville. I know Des is always commenting on my stuff, and I appreciate it. It means the world to me, man. It means the world to me. I don't know. I just love it. I think it's cool. This summer I went on a Ohio tour and a Texas tour, and so we stopped in Piqua and we played like the Rock Piqua Festival. And last summer we did the same thing. We came to Piqua after we played the country concert, which was really fun.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was a great time. Definitely a crowd I'll never forget. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's great. I mean, like I said, the support is always unreal, and we sell the most shirts in Piqua. In our hometown. People are always just dying to support.
Yeah. And so your main band, or maybe not main band, Cole Ritter and the Night Owls. Where are the rest of the members from? Are they all from Piqua as well, or?
So they're kind of from everywhere. So I play guitar, and we have a pedal steel guitar player. His name's Alex Varsity, one of the best in Nashville, really. And he's from Pittsburgh, which we don't get along in the sports idea. But,
Yeah, right.
But and then we have our drummer. His name's Matt Martirano. He's from New York, which is cool. And then we have our bass player Tom Davis. He's from Wisconsin. So kind of everywhere. And Cole, kind of interesting story. Cole's family is from Sydney, Ohio.
Nuh-uh.
Interesting.
He grew up in Nashville. His whole family, like his parents, and we got connected. You guys remember Braden Cheney?
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, Braden's stepdad, Jimmy, he worked with a guy named Chad Ritter, and that's Cole's cousin. Before I came to Belmont, and first day of school we got together, and I went to his house and we played music for like 3 hours. And then
That's awesome.
He asked me to join his band like a week later. So, and then that's how Cole Ritter and the Night Owls started.
The rest is history, man. What an awesome story.
Mm-hmm.
That is a pretty cool story.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So he grew up in Nashville, but his parents had always been from Sydney prior to then?
His dad grew up in Sydney or Houston, and his grandparents still live there. His dad's just moved back, so he spent his summers really going to George's, dairy bar, getting like the conies or, hanging around people in Sydney,
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Crazy. I had no idea where the rest of the band members were from, so it's cool that they're from everywhere, but also, it's still a small world.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah. And then you play with other musicians, bands as well. Are they from, farther away places? Are they from Ohio? What other places have you connected yourself to?
Yeah, so I also play with a couple other artists. I play with this girl named Gloria Anderson, and she's from Texas, like San Marcos, like an hour from Austin. And she does like more like Americana music. And that's what this summer we did like a dual headlining tour. So it was Cole Ritter and the Night Owls and then Gloria. But we shared the same band. So I was playing like double time every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool like to like mash the music together, We could like link one song to another and it could like really work. And Gloria is just an incredible songwriter. She's one of the best in Nashville right now. And I play with this other kid, and one of my dearest friends, his name's Joshua Quimby, and he's from Connecticut.
Okay.
And he was in the guitar program with me my first semester, but he switched majors. But he does like more like bluegrass, like Billy Strings, kind of like more rock and roll bluegrass kind of stuff. And I was playing with him for a long time, and I went in the studio with him, and we recorded an album, I don't know, in December, I think, and it came out in March. It just surpassed 500,000 streams.
Wow.
Oh, congratulations. Congrats.
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate
that's
that.
major.
That's awesome.
Playing with all these like different genres, and I play like blues and rock and roll stuff with another friend, Aidan Madden, so it's kind of cool to like get all these genres like kind of like interchangeable and like, just kind of trying to put your own mark on it,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, the real question is then, when are you going to lay down a hip-hop record?
Man, I'm down anytime.
Right. I mean, the thing with guitar, any instrument really, but guitar especially, will fit on any genre so well, because there's so many different ways to play it. So yeah, it could be nice. I mean, you could make so many different sounds with the guitar. Put like a drum pattern, a hip hop drum pattern on it, and it'd sound good.
I would love to do something sometime. If any of y'all want to do something, I would love to do something.
I mean, let's make it happen. Okay.
There it is. It's done. There it is.
Yeah, we gotta make it happen now for sure. Yeah, and I mean it should.
Yeah, it's only right.
Yeah. Right.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool that you know, having connections to so many places, and Belmont is one of the most diverse universities in the country, too, which obviously you know that, but like they just being accepting of so many backgrounds will naturally, you know, connect you to those people. So that's definitely cool that you have all those, you know, in your pocket for your future, obviously, but also for now, because I'm sure you're having a ton of fun making all that music with different sounds too.
Of course. Never a dull moment, truly.
Absolutely. And with that, in Nashville, maybe not so much diverse as a city, I guess, but like, you know, just in general, how has Nashville treated you?
Nashville is a very interesting city. I have to watch what I say on this, but you know, you get a lot of like in Nashville, like a lot of people like identify Nashville as like pop country and like this like genre of country music that I feel is like not genuine sometimes. And like they think like country music is just like this one thing, you know. But it's really not. And like the Broadway bars, like Broadway is a blast, you know, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of drinking going on always. And I like last summer, like I paid my dues by playing Broadway like a couple times a week. And it was like 4-hour like shifts. So you play 4 hours straight, no breaks, no, you know, no bathroom breaks, no nothing. And it was always this music everybody else wanted to hear. You know, you weren't playing the music that like really inspired you or you wanted to play. So, you know, a lot of people get sucked in this like Nashville trap in the music scene, and they never leave Broadway. You know, and they play the same tunes like every night of the week for 40 years. You know, and for me, that's just like. That's not where the passion's at, you know, playing like the same cover songs like every night of the week, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of beautiful places in Nashville, like a lot of great listening rooms, a lot of, I mean, the talent here is just incredible. Everybody you see is just like the most talented people in the world.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of listening rooms, and that's where I kind of try to dive into more. Is like selling tickets for people to come see you, whereas like just like a bar and there's this tourist passing through every day, you know?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, with a city like Nashville where music is so like kind of intertwined and really the pillar of the culture in the city, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's kind of cool hearing that story, you know, what you said, but I'm not surprised that people kind of get tired of it really. And like, you know, it's just like kind of a job. Well, I mean, it is a job, but like mundane job, like, you know, to them, it's like a factory job pretty much. Like they're going to work, unfortunately, and they're not having fun, which isn't how it should be, but that's probably not how they expected it to turn out anyways.
Right. It's sad, you know? It's just like, you know, sometimes like in the music world, you know, there is a lot of opportunities. You just have to go out and look for them and find them and, you know, shake hands. It's always about shaking hands with people and meeting new people. And, you know, sometimes people just like rely on a certain gig, you know, and then they just get used to that and you get the hang of it, and just like you said, it kind of ends up like being a factory job in a way,
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, especially like country music. It not that I'm entirely familiar with it, but like it's so people listen to it in so many places and have so many different like interpretations of it, but like are they supposed to, are they not supposed to? Like it's just so, I don't know what the word is, open, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, in Nashville, with the identity in country music that it has, people will definitely kind of disassociate, I guess. So yeah, that's interesting, that perspective.
I know. I completely support like people that are playing Broadway, because it took a lot out of me. So if you can do it every night of the week, great for you. I mean, that's awesome. You're making a stable living.
Yeah. Hey, if it works, it works, I guess.
Yeah. That's not where my dreams,
Right.
Yeah, I think it's important to be able to recognize like what's for other people and what's for you. And if that's not where the passion is for you, then you have to go elsewhere.
Right.
So are you at any time playing music that's just you on your own, or are you always with Cole Ritter and the Night Owls?
I've actually entertained the idea of doing my own album recently.
I was interested to see if you did anything on your own time.
Typically, no, but I really want to do like, I play with all these different artists, and I really want to like, write and develop a song and then have like different artists sing on it, and just, me play guitar, me sing a couple songs, show choir,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think there's a huge avenue in a place like Nashville for that to have a lot of collaboration with other artists and have them sing on your tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah, everybody's always down to do something, and it's great. I mean, it's a great community. You all have to come visit. You really do.
Absolutely.
You always have a place.
Yes.
Right. Well, that'd be great, man. We can make it a business trip somehow.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely have to make that happen. I mean, Nashville is just such a cool city to go to. I mean,
it's really
there's so much to do, and it's like probably, how long of a drive is it, Christian?
Like 5 hours.
Yeah, like from Greenville,
that's nothing.
5. Yeah, 5
that's nothing.
For sure.
Yeah, we definitely have to make that sometime. We got a lot of things planned in the next, I don't know, 8 months, but we need to squeeze that in for sure.
We'll have to calendar that.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to talk about that. I had a question on my tongue, and I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, like music curation is kind of becoming like a new thing in general, I guess. Like a lot of artists or producers or engineers are making these things and just having other people come to do it. It's especially, relevant in the hip hop world, just because of, how many beats can be on an album or whatever. But like having, like, for example, a Christian Starrett curated album with so many different sounds on it would be awesome to hear. Like, different guitars, different, whatever, with different people on every track. It would be so cool to listen to. And like just a new idea, really, in general, with that sound specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should do it.
I'm trying to get my studio up and going, and once I do, I think I'm going to start. And,
for sure.
It'd be cool to do like every song, like almost a different genre of music.
Yes, that would be so cool.
And, different musicians. It would be cool to like just collaborate with like different people to get different, different tones and different.
Absolutely, it would be so cool. Yeah, you should. Yeah, that would be awesome for you. And like, you know, like we talked about earlier, you have so many connections, you know, so many people. You could definitely make it happen for sure.
Yeah.
So, you kind of, I know we just kind of got off of it by talking about that, but in general, other than that, where do you see yourself, let's say, like, not necessarily, like, let's say 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What's your goals? What do you want to be doing? Or maybe if those don't work out, then what would you do?
Yeah, so that's a tough question. I think about that every day, to be honest, you know.
Right.
But ultimately, I think in 2 years and 4 years, 5 years, and 10 years, I think I want to be doing the same thing. I want to be making original music, you know, trying to get, you know, a lot of streams. I'm more of a live guitar player, I feel, than even studio. I love being in the studio. It's like great fun. It's definitely puts you on the spot, you know. But I want to tour. I think I want to tour.
Okay, love that.
Days on the road.
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful lifestyle.
Staying everywhere I can. Mm-hmm. Traveling, seeing the world, you know, playing music. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, that's the dream.
Yeah, that is the dream.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot ourselves, and just with all the other artists we've met. Like, I mean, as a person who creates music, that's really the goal for everyone, I'd say.
Yeah.
To be not only to tour, but like to be able to tour.
Just be able to sustain yourself off of a music career is like what anybody wants. Anything after that is just icing on the cake, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, this summer we did like a couple of Ohio tours like in the past, but like to travel to a state and like a location you've never been and like play these like just crazy awesome venues. Like one of my heroes is like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like he's a big blues guitar player. He's a shredder. He rips. But like I got to play on the same stage that he used to play on. And,
that's awesome.
Like that idea and that feeling of like staying in the same spot he did, and you know playing some great music. I mean that was so fulfilling for me. You know.
Right. And then, you know, yeah,
definitely not.
And then, you know, sometime down the road, maybe, you know, you're playing with him, you're playing next to him, or somebody else that, you know, maybe inspired you or that you love. Like that'd be incredible. And another thing is that, you know, also kind of with us that we tell ourselves is like, you're only 22 years old, I think. 22, right?
21.
21. You're 21 years old. Yeah. And, you know, you already have established yourself as, you know, a successful musician, person, student of music. And you're 21 and you have so much more ahead of you. And like, do you ever kind of catch yourself looking back and like, wow, like I really have, you know, kind of done it? Or do you always have yourself, you know, looking ahead and you don't get stuck in that?
Yeah, so it's kind of both, actually. The other day I was thinking about like, you know, coming to Belmont for the first time or coming to Nashville, like where I was like as a musician and a guitar player. And, you know, being around like all these knowledgeable people and friends, you know, that are always willing to help you. Like, I'm not even the same guitar player, you know, but that doesn't stop me. There's a lot I want to learn and a lot I want to do. And the moment, you know, you're satisfied where you're at, you know, it's over, you know. So if you're always wanting more, and you never think of like a backup plan. There's no backup plan. This is it. If you just keep your mind forward, you'll never stop.
What a way to put it.
It's a good way to put it.
It's beautiful.
Appreciate that. But it's the truth, it's
yeah.
I'm very thankful for like everything that's been up to this point, whether it be like, growing up in Piqua and, meeting all my friends, meeting you guys. I mean, we all have some great memories, and even like college, like the 3 years, it hasn't been easy, School has been very tough, I think I'm just kind of over it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I graduate in December, so I'm done.
Yeah.
But
king shit.
it's just time to keep looking forward,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you with the school. I don't graduate. Well, I graduated in May, graduate again in May, but I'm just ready to be done. And especially doing this now, I'm like, okay, it's just a nuisance kind of, but you got to do it. Well, I guess you don't have to, but once yeah, you're here, got to finish it now. But then like, I agree with everything you said, especially about school is basically all I'm saying. But I know Simeon and Des may have different thoughts, I guess. But
I don't have any different thoughts.
Yeah. But yeah. One thing we haven't talked about that I did kind of want to at least mention is your dad and your parents in general. Well, first, let me preface just by, being around your parents, the few times that I have, they seem very supportive of you. They have definitely seemed to help set you up for success. And just from reading on your site, and I don't even know if I knew this beforehand, you were in a band with your dad, from what I saw. What was that like? And then, like, also, what do you think maybe you would have done if music wasn't a part of your life at such a young age?
Yeah, so, it was kind of crazy growing up. My dad was a working musician. He was in a band called Cadillac Sam in the Syndicate when I was growing up, and multiple other bands.
Amazing name, by the way.
What?
That's an amazing band name.
Yeah, I love it.
It really is.
And they did, like, the stuff they were doing was just so unique. And I'll talk about this later, but, they had a 5-piece horn section, but had, like, lead guitar, my dad, and, a great, rhythm section, too. So they were doing a lot of that swing blues, like rock and roll, shuffle stuff, from 40s music to, like, modern music, just the blues, And that really, like, inspired me to, like, love the blues. And, like, out of every genre of music, I think, they've all inspired me in different ways, but the blues is, like, that's the root, there's nothing more raw and nothing more genuine than the blues. It's like, straight from the heart,
Yeah.
Most of the time, the songs are about a woman leaving you, but I mean, it's
sure.
It's the rawness of the song, But yeah, I played with them. I spent my weekends growing up, carrying guitars into bars. I was in bars since I was 6, 7 years old, and my dad was never a drinker, so he kept it away from me my whole life, really. And it was just cool, to just, like, see him, like, be on the stage and just, like, have that, like, feeling, that, like, glow, that glow I didn't see anywhere else. And that really, like, got me thinking, I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, this is what I want to do,
Yeah.
And he just kept on doing that, As I grew older, he was just on top of it, He was killing it every weekend and playing and, waking up and living like a real job, and around our area, that's what we had to do, what people had to do. But yeah, I joined the band when I was, I think, 12, and I was playing saxophone. I was playing alto and tenor sax, actually. So that was my first instrument. But it was fun, to like be on the stage with my dad and playing music. I mean, that was one of those feelings like you can never buy. It's something, I'll never. Like, I'll of course play with them again, but like every time I do it, it's just something that sticks with me, like it's like one of those things. And then I started playing guitar with them when I was about 14 on stage. So I would play like sax half the night, and then I'd go and switch to guitar. And there was one song in particular, every night we'd do it, and we'd just have a jam session like on stage. And do like 10 minutes long, just him and I just playing at each other. And that was so cool, It was fun. So I love it. When we came to Ohio this past time, I got my dad up on stage with the Night House, and we
that's awesome.
A tune, and we jammed on it for a while. My dad was, one of the best there was around our area. All of Ohio, I believe. Playing genuine music once again, I think that's kind of the thing. Like, they made songs their own, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to make a song my own,
Yeah.
In a way. But I played up with Cadillac Sam the Syndicate until I graduated high school. So, and it was kind of weird. They were established, so they had a crowd,
Right.
Before I came to school, I was playing crowds of 1,000 people, every show. And when I got to Belmont and I did my first show, it was with the Night House, and there was like 20 people in the audience. People, and I was like, "What's this?" And Cole told me, and he was like, "This is it. This is how it is."
Yeah.
But you grow. You keep building and you keep growing. And,
those are the shows that build character.
Yeah, it definitely was like set me back a little bit. But very fortunate for all of those times playing with my dad, and my mom was always really supportive too of music. She would come watch, and having two parents that really support music. A lot of times you hear like people wanting to do music, and they're like, "Oh, what's your backup? What are you gonna do?"
Right.
I'm gonna play guitar,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like you said earlier, there is no backup.
There's no backup.
And I love that. Yeah, I love that. So you never really had any form of like, oh, maybe I want to do this instead, or did you?
In high school, before I like really determined I wanted to go to school for music, because it's a hard world. I got a lot of support, but I also got a lot of like, you're gonna have to have another job. You're gonna have to do something else to support your passion. So strangely enough, I was always into like law. I always enjoyed like I wanted to be a senator for a while, or like something like that. And it's kind of weird now thinking about it, but like Mason and I would always do all those like government things, and it was fun. I loved it, but too much paperwork for me,
Yeah, I mean, Mason's doing all the paperwork now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all he does. But, well, I guess not. But, yeah, that's interesting.
It is.
I'm either going to be a senator or I'm going to play guitar.
Yeah, I worked at Barclays downtown.
Yeah,
Piqua,
Barclays.
too.
Yeah.
And I truly love doing that. That was a lot of fun, like selling suits and doing tuxedos for prom. I mean,
Absolutely.
I got to be really good at that. I kind of got me into like loving clothes and fashion.
Yeah.
But just one more thing, you can just kind of add to your little tool belt,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out Barclays. Shout out Barclays for sure.
You are fresh as hell, my guy.
Oh, come on. Big Barclays fan. But the Western gear the Western gear goes crazy.
I appreciate it. I try to keep it like fresh, trying to keep it like, not so like bland,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're damn good at it.
Yeah, you
don't let anybody tell you.
You can definitely. Yeah.
Appreciate that, boys.
You could look at you and be like, "Oh man, like this guy definitely worked at a tux store. He's got he's got fashion.
He's doing.
Yeah. And the hats fit everything. So.
Well, I was unfortunate enough to be, born with a bad hairline, so.
Yeah, I remember the hair, Christian.
The little flip,
Yeah, seeing you with the cowboy hat was different, but the hat and beard looks great. Looks great.
Now, do you have a specific
not that you weren't
for every occasion, or do you wear the same one pretty often?
I have in my bedroom. I have a hat wall.
Right.
And I have I like old Western movies, so I have all the Clint Eastwood Western movie posters, and I have all the hats around them.
Okay.
That's pretty sick.
Nice.
Different colors, different styles, different
different flavors.
Most of the time, this.
Yeah.
I have a hat maker in Louisville now that makes a bunch of custom hats for me, which is really cool.
Wow. Awesome. That's awesome.
I like hats that I want to find,
The branding deals are already running.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that video of you where you're up on stage and you took your hat off, that was sweet.
Yeah, that was
it made me smile.
Yeah, I did not expect I was going to do that night. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
We were playing for the sorority girls at Belmont, and they were all screaming in the front, and one of them had a sign that said, "Can I please wear your hat?" And they were all pointing, looking at this sign, and I was like, "Hell with it,"
Yeah.
Right. Gotta please the crowd.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. Well, Simeon, Des, you got anything else you guys want to touch on?
Man, I don't know. It was fun talking.
I have one more thing I do want to say.
All right.
Let's hear it.
I like the sound. Because you were saying earlier, when you think country, you think of what's on the radio, that more pop country type sound. And then I remember you sent me All the Stars Across the Western Sky, and I was like, this sounds theatrical. It's got real it's got layers to it, and it sounded nice.
You were one of the first people I ever sent that to. That?
Yeah, that's crazy. And I appreciate it because that song goes hard.
I appreciate that. That's still probably one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that idea of layers and real instruments and it's cool. It's genuine. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and another thing that you guys kind of touched on, obviously you guys knew each other still, but Des especially, I know he will support anybody that he kind of connects with and has a relationship with, especially that's making music, but just in general too. So it's so cool to me that, you're doing this that is totally out from the music that Des is making, but, he still will support you and like it genuinely.
Vice versa.
Always.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. Vice versa.
Together, always, support each other.
A whole lot of mutual love going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and there always will be. That's the thing. No matter no matter what happens, no matter where everyone goes, like I will always have love for my people. You know.
Yeah. And, that's a good thing to always think about. I think about home a lot, and I try to stay in touch with everybody. Because why not?
Right.
Yeah.
We all had great memories. They were all great friends. Why not? Even though we're different places, doesn't mean we don't have to not be friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, I mean, I live 2.5 hours away from these guys, and I mean, I'm literally about to drive to their house after I'm done recording this.
He's gonna get here after midnight.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's not impossible to do things, or even just talk to people.
Yeah.
When you're apart, and maintaining those relationships are so important, especially when those people meant a lot to you at important times in your life. So
yeah, it's all about the effort.
The friendship. Yeah, the
Absolutely.
friendship keeps me going. It's what gives me love. It's what I truly live for. Is in the grand scheme of everything. The people that you love and you've met over all your years, and the memories you've made. To me, that's the most important thing. Is just
For sure.
Being a real person and having fun, always having a smile on your face. I kind of lost that for a little bit. I just kind of stopped smiling so much, and then I kind of I have to think about everybody that I love and enjoy being with and hanging out with, and it it keeps me going for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely,
man. What a wholesome note. I feel strongly about that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, man. This has been great. Mm-hmm.
I've loved
It's been
this.
wonderful.
This has been a great time.
And something we've said with really everybody we've had on, this doesn't have to be a one-time thing. Like, we can do this more than once. I would love to. And I definitely do want to come see you in Nashville. And I know if I presented that idea to Skylar, too, she would love that.
Anytime.
So yeah, we should definitely plan on doing that. And then with that, I'll send you a link for our shirts that you can look at, or I mean, if you've already looked at them.
Yeah.
And then also some more shirts that we might be making soon, if maybe you like one of those better. But we will definitely send you a shirt. Christian Simeon he mentioned to me earlier that he needs to get one, and I was like, We'll take care of that.
As a podcast guest, I think you get a freebie for sure.
Absolutely.
Tell me right.
Yeah, so I'll send you that stuff so you can look through that and pick one and all that, and we'll send it to you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
But yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for coming on, Christian. It was an absolute blast.
It was fun.
I've been looking forward to this ever since we first talked about it a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I remember we brought it up a while ago.
I'm glad it finally happened, and I would love to do it again. Let's make it happen.
Absolutely.
All right.
Along with the hip-hop song, we gotta do a song.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
We definitely got to bring that to fruition as well. But yeah, thanks for coming on again. For those that are listening or will be listening, thanks for listening. But yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate everybody.
Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to hang
Of
out
course.
with you.
Absolutely.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.
We'll stay in touch. We'll definitely stay in touch. I'll hit you up about the shirt.
Awesome.
Either tonight or tomorrow as well.
Sweet.
All right, man. Peace and love to you.
I appreciate it.